Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Sunday night here in Moscow, live from my kitchen here in Moscow region. It's currently 10 p.m. It's actually a couple of minutes after, and I think everybody's here for this live stream, particularly because I've got one of the OGs of English-speaking YouTube channels here in Russia, Sam. Now, is everybody ready to meet Sam? Let's bring him up on the screen.
Hey. How's it going, everyone? First live stream for me ever. Russell's been saying let's do one for a while, so
hi. All right, so I'll just explain a couple of things before I start doing a bit of Q&A with Sam. If anyone wants to say hello to him in the chat, type away, and then we'll have a few questions. So everybody who's watching the live stream for the first time, just keep in mind, I don't speak Russian. I know a few words. I don't speak Russian. I can't read Russian. So if you're typing in Russian, no worries at all. You can type to each other. Just keep it friendly, of course, and we're all good. If anyone wants to support the channel and you'd like to follow along from the pinned comment, which is the For Travel to Meet Sam Fund, basically try and go out and meet Sam and meet him in person and sit next to him on that sofa where he is right now. You've got a few options, super chats, super thanks, and donation alerts. There's a pinned comment, and I'll happily put them up on screen and read them out. Now, let's just do a couple of hellos, Sam. I don't know if you realize, Sam, we've got 83 people live.
Wow.
83 people, and we've got 49 likes or thumbs ups. Thumbs ups?
More,
you call them likes or thumbs ups?
Likes, I think. Yeah, likes.
Likes. Okay.
It's more likes
we
than
need
I
like
usually
more
on
than
my video.
Yeah. All right. So we'll just go through a couple of hellos, and then we'll get on to doing the Q&A. There's lots of hearts going in the live chat at the moment. People can click a heart when you're live streaming, or there's a fireworks one, and there's a lot of hearts. They're probably for you.
Oh, sure they are with my good looks, stunning good looks, yeah.
Now, tonight's live stream, everybody, I'm going to try to probably skip through a lot of the chat and not put everybody up on screen because obviously it's a little bit hard today with more people watching. We're at 100 people watching live.
Wow, 100.
Actually, now 6 people just left.
Oh.
They probably saw our two faces. Fly, I don't know if you know anybody from the chat or not. Fly Sky says, Russell and Sam, what a beautiful collaboration.
Wow, I see that. That's brilliant. Wow.
Ellie's putting a heart. Andrea Nagy, who's one of my Telegram channel members. Fireflux, I'm here waiting. Fraser McDonald, hello. Watching all your videos. Ewan Lewin. I love Russia. It's a misunderstood country. Marlene, hello. Marlene is also a long-time watcher of the channel as well. Marlene, highly recommend Sam's channel. I would like, which I like the videos of the landscape sceneries of Russia, but unfortunately his channel and Telegram is more geared to men than women. Sam, you're more geared to men than women, I guess. You might have to change that a little bit going forward.
Sorry about that. I think I might film in the gym every now and again or something like that. I'll try and
just film the guys working out and pumping iron.
Yeah, I'll film the guys next time. Film some bodybuilders.
Privyet Senior, Jaguar, hello. Kosa, hello. Ulanor Vaniga, nice to see you exploring a bit of Moscow. That's probably me, I guess. YouTube user. Zinoi Africa, maybe that's hello from Africa, I think.
He's from South Africa, he says.
Okay.
In Russian, but English letters.
Oh, and then we've got another person in with a Russian name there. I'm not sure. Ivanka is Joanna from Portugal. I met in Moscow recently. Fireflux is saying hello to Sam.
Hey, hi, mate.
The Big K is saying hello. Sergio saying hello. Elle is saying hello. Patricia, love hearts. Greenwood, Indiana. William Jett, hello.
I mean,
Another Russian name. Is that Maxim?
Mikhail.
Oh, Mikhail. Glad it's happening. Guillermo Stradi. That's very Italian, I think. 91 people on YouTube. Sergio, we got 120 people now.
Wow.
This is going off the dial. I mean, my friend, I'm still waiting for you to make a video of you having a braai. Oh, Nicholas wants me to do a braai. You know what a braai is? It's kind of like a barbecue. It's like a shashlik, but it's a South African shashlik.
Oh, okay, cool.
Actually, the South African braai is much closer to what the Russian shashlik is.
Okay.
And they also do one where they put like a cast iron pot on top of the coals. They put all sorts of vegetables in there, some meat. They put a lid on it, come back an hour later, and they've got like a stew.
Oh, wow,
it's
cool.
Called a poiki pot. I like both Sam and you. You are both darlings. I think that's Tatiana.
Wow.
Is that Tatiana?
Thank you.
Hello from Paris. James is in Paris. Fireflux, Eleanor. I'm going to try and hello to Sam and Russell. Louis, hello. Have you got Russian citizenship? George wants to know.
Yes, I'm a Russian citizen. I didn't. I wasn't going to get it for ages, but then a couple of years ago, I thought probably best to have it in case you never know what's going to happen in the future. Thought probably a good idea just to have it. So yes, I'm a Russian citizen. Yeah.
Genuinely appreciate your videos, Russell. The Big K, hello from Hampshire in the UK. Hampshire. Wow. I don't know a lot of British places.
I know who this guy. Yeah, this guy I know. We've been chatting today.
The Big K. Oh, there we go. I'm okay. Sergey says I'm tired of the blah 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 of the Anglo-Saxons in Russia. I'm not too technical about that part, so we'll. No left
Sergey
turn.
comments on my videos. Yeah, sometimes it's very negative. I don't really get the whole thing.
Okay,
yeah.
Fair enough. No Left Turns is a channel member. Hello from St. Louis. What are your favorite Okay, so what we'll do is I think we're at the bottom of the chat here. Hello from Olympia, Washington. Washington in the USA. So that's the Washington on the west coast of America, not the
East coast. WA. Yeah, where's
Washington
that?
State. Washington State. Okay. I saw Sam in the video with Real Reporter, a really interesting watch. I'd recommend it if you haven't seen it. Yes, I totally agree with Matty Jester, Real Reporter's video. What they don't know is it took 7 days to film that, right? No, like
5, I think. Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, it took a few.
Saskatchewan in Canada, Mark Biro. And we got one more hello. We got 2 more hellos here. Munich, Germany. Bortek in Germany. Munich, Germany. Have you been to Germany before?
Yeah, I've been a few times when I was younger with my parents, but yeah.
Jacksonville, Florida. And Sergey's telling us to get real jobs.
Yeah, I've got a real job, but yeah, it doesn't. I don't
so
know
I guess
that'll. I never get the people who. Yeah.
No worries.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So now, Sam, I prepared some questions here. I should hide everything, shouldn't I? Which are questions that I'm going to ask everybody here. I'm going to ask them to you. Now, these are pretty much questions without notice, correct?
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Question could be anything. So it's better not to know, otherwise you prepare answers. It's better to just be honest, isn't it? Yeah. So
wasn't there an interview on TV a couple of nights ago where a lot of people think
somebody was on there. I don't know who it was.
And how many million views did they get on Twitter?
All I know is that they've shown on in the English news it says, yeah, we won't even talk about it. Let's not talk about it because we know what they say. Yeah.
We've actually got our first donation alerts, by the way. I can't put them on the screen here, so I'm just going to read it out. I've got a little text box off. It says, hi, Russell. Hi, Sam. Hi, girls and gals in the chat. Glad to see you. And that's from Adequate Xiaomi Guy. You can't see that. I can't see that.
Okay.
Adequate Xiaomi Guy. Xiaomi is the telephone brand, right?
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hello from West Palm Beach, Tatiana.
Cool.
There we go. Maybe half Russian or half Tatanian. I'm not sure. All right, Sam. So now, of course, everybody's probably here because they know Sam from his YouTube channel. Sam's Russian Adventures is the channel name, correct?
Yeah.
Was that
that's right,
always ever that channel name, by the way?
So no, so before it was called I Love Russia. It
Oh.
was called I Love Russia channel. I actually had a site as well, I Love Russia site. But people thought it was just a business or something like that. They didn't realize it was like a person. So I got a lot of people asking me to change it. So yeah.
Robot Sam, of course. So,
yeah.
All right. So we've got the first question here. When did you start YouTube? Is the first question.
So for Sam's Russian Adventures, I started it about 6 or 7 years ago. I did some YouTube before that because I used to make explainer videos and affiliate marketing. So I'd done a bit of YouTube before. But with regards to Sam's Russian Adventures, yeah, like, it was I Love Russia at the time. I Love Russia channel. It was 7 years ago.
That was probably
you can
You really are one of the OG English speaking. I think you did all those videos originally in English as well, right?
I did some in Russian. My editing skills weren't very, very good, and if you go back and look at some of my first videos, you can see that I wasn't really. Some of them got like 10 views or whatever. So
we've actually got a couple of super chats before I even get the first question. No left turns. What we'll do is if we get a super chat or a donation alert, we'll jump straight into it, and I'll skip my list of questions here. So how has AI impacted folks in Russia? In the USA, it's really having an impact on lots of people. I guess you can answer that. How has AI impacted people?
I don't really know. So I don't really know much about AI, to be fair.
Like, what about the Chat GPT? I guess maybe that kind of thing.
Yeah. So everyone talks. I don't even know what Chat GPT is. It's really bad, isn't it? Like, I've seen that it's quite a high search volume on Google, but I've got no idea what it is. What is it?
So Chat GPT is basically a browser or a website where you can type a question. It's similar to Google, but instead of Google sending you back to a website or to a link to somewhere else, it auto-generates an answer in a text form.
All right, okay.
So you can say, tell me everything you know about Sam's Russian Adventure channel, and then within seconds, it'll literally give you sentence and sentence
okay.
that it somehow scrapes from somewhere. And you can create instant news articles, instant books, instant stories by asking it a...
Wow, that's pretty cool. Do you use that yourself?
No, never in my life. Yeah. No, I don't believe in it.
Do you use Alyssa? Like,
we
questions
actually, it's unplugged at the moment. When we were in Australia, we got I think it's the Google Home or Google something. This little thing, you talk to it. It's not plugged in now, but I got it as part of my Secret Santa gift.
Oh, okay.
So this is the Australian one. So you just basically, it's in Russia. If anyone doesn't know, there's one called Alyssa, which is similar to Alexa.
Alexa one, isn't it? So I live in a town, and I don't really keep up to date with what's going on at all. Like, so I've got no idea about AI at all. So bad, isn't it? Yeah, sorry to not be able to.
So no left turns. Thank you for the super chat. And I mean, AI, I guess, in terms of, I don't know, even further than that, like the artificial intelligence of, I don't know how you'd put that into your terms in Vladimir, but in Moscow, for instance, like with the CCTV cameras and things like that, and how they can do facial recognition. And I don't think it's a big deal in Russia as what it is maybe in other countries.
So no left turns. If you're really into it, you probably know about it. But
right. You and I were. And then we've got one more super chat. Actually, no, even just a thank you from Tatiana. And she put, "You are amazing." Oh, wow.
She's got you. She's got a few miles down the road to me. That's brilliant.
So thank you to donation alerts. I can't put the donation alerts on screen, but I can read them. All right, let's go to the next question. So Sam, obviously, probably a lot of people don't know where you're originally from. Maybe you can let people know roughly,
so
not street numbers and postcodes, but.
So I'm from Nottingham in England. Nottingham, It's interesting because my accent, even though it is kind of English, but my accent actually changes completely different when I'm back home for 2 days. A lot of people, when you're in Russia, you start to speak kind of clear so that Russians can understand you if you're speaking English. Whereas as soon as you go back home, your accent's like completely different. I speak completely differently to how I sound even in my videos. So yeah.
Okay. And then maybe let everybody know in the live stream, how long have you lived in Russia from when you first came, let's call it?
So the first time I came here was 2002, I think. But living full time probably since about 2005. I do the visa runs like a lot of foreigners do, originally. I didn't even get residency until 2014.
Oh,
So
okay.
before that, I was just living on random visas, going back and forth and all that stuff. Yeah, just like, so the first 10 years in Russia, I was just, yeah.
So Mikhail says that I'd like to note that YouTube does suggest Sam's videos, doesn't withhold them or censor them, but I don't usually click on them. I guess that's Mikhail.
That's good.
So,
thanks, mate. It's really good to get those comments because I at least know that people are getting the view, getting shown the videos. I get hundreds of comments from people that say they don't get the view, don't get the shown the content, that they don't get notifications, that they didn't even know my channel still existed, even though they're subscribed with the bell. So some people seem to get them and some people don't. I don't know how it works. So yeah, it's just frustrating how it works, isn't it?
We've got a hello from Abkhazia.
Abkhazia. It's the Russian part of Georgia, the Russian side. Abkhazia.
Sergey Popov says hello. Okay, so this one actually, William's question here is pretty much the exact name. The next thing I was going to ask is, what brought you to Russia originally?
So it's interesting, yeah. Yeah.
Give me the bullet point version, let's say.
Yeah. So I was really interested in Russia for a long time from childhood. When I was at school, we didn't have internet and stuff like that, so we just look at books in the library printed 50 years ago, pictures of Russia and stuff. But eventually I met a Russian family and they brought me here on a holiday. So my goal wasn't and they're from Vladimir originally. So that's how I ended up here. So it wasn't that I planned. So a lot of people plan to move to Russia, right? I just planned to come here and have a holiday and have a laugh and go out a few times. And then over time, I ended up spending more time in Russia than in England, and it felt more like home and ended up staying. So
fair enough. Somebody says greetings from St. Petersburg. Nice to see both of you.
Hey.
I can't read their first name.
Irina Chornaya.
Oh, there we go. So, by the way, everybody, Sam speaks fluent Russian, and I would imagine you read and write Russian as well, right? Or,
yeah.
You can read and write Russian fluently.
Yeah. Well, my grammar's really bad, but apart from that, yeah, I'm kind of okay.
Somebody just said there about the AI that there's those Yandex robots that go around.
Yeah.
The food delivery robots. Have you seen one of those at all?
Yeah, we don't have them in Vladimir. We don't have them here. I guess they'd get stuck in our pavements because our snow is, doesn't get cleared for a week. So
So what's my next question? So talking about your YouTube channel, how much time do you spend creating a video? Let's call it. It says creating content.
It really depends. Really depends. Like the video that I made. The last video uploaded, I filmed over 3 days. Obviously, it looks like it's all in one day. But all the villages are pretty much next to each other. So I filmed it over 3 days. I obviously had to drive to it and stuff. That was about 40 minutes from my house to drive there. But usually I spend perhaps a day filming and then editing, depending on how much Russian's spoken. I have to, because when you film with my camera as well, I probably get about 20 gigs worth of content, and then whether or not I have to sync the audio, if I've recorded the audio separately, and then I use two different programs to edit. I use DaVinci Resolve, and then I end up, once it's ready, putting it into iMovie, just because it's easier and less fragile, I guess, or fidgety to edit. So yeah, it can, and then it renders, takes like 3 or 4 hours to render the video.
So
and then you find out you made a spelling mistake. Yeah, so it's the video I made with the video before last in secondhand, we filmed for like 4 or 5 hours, and then it took me a day to edit. So yeah.
Wow. Sam makes great videos
Oh wow!
and gets really nice looking birds. Definitely worth subscribing to your channel. Did I mention the nice looking birds? Is there a lot of wildlife and birds in your in the trees?
So it's interesting with the birds. So I'll be honest with the birds. So I'm not a ladies' man, but I understand that the viewers don't like to see my ugly face and like to see girls in the videos. So I've got lots of girls that I'm friends with, lots of women that I'm friends with. And they're very outgoing people, and I try and feature them in my videos just for you guys, really. So people will think, oh, this guy's always with different girls. It's not true. I go home on my own and speak to my cat. So yeah.
Mr. Jamo is a long-time watcher of my channel. He says hello from Finland.
Oh.
And somebody's from Thatcham, Berkshire, and now in Oregon, USA.
Oh, cool.
Everyone in Russia knows Nottingham.
Yeah, Robin Good. That's why. No Robin Good, don't they? Robin Hood he's called in England. We call him Robin Hood, not Robin Good. In Russia, he's Robin Good. Yeah.
Sergey says, life in Russia is great if you know a little of the Russian language. I think for you, it's like a different experience to what I have when I go out, because you can talk to anybody, literally, and I have to figure out a way to talk to people.
Yeah, it's different because here, even I know lots of foreigners, but I'm not so much friends with foreigners anymore. So when we go out, it's just with Russians. Yeah. So it's, yeah.
When Sam makes a new video, I see it in my new videos to watch for both channels. So yeah,
brilliant.
So if anyone doesn't know,
absolutely
Sam,
brilliant.
Yeah, Sam has a second channel, which it's not a secret you've got a second channel. It's called B Road Russia, correct?
Yeah.
And I put the link to both channels in the description, and I'll put it in a pinned comment afterwards as well.
Brilliant, thanks.
So Sam's Russian Adventure is your main channel. And what brought you to creating the second channel, B Road Russia? What's the basic niche of that?
Really, I was trying to appeal to a wider audience, because a lot of people that are really, really interested in Russia will like Sam's Russian Adventures. But most people around the world know the stereotypes of Russia, of, kind of like abandoned village, or kind of like a lot of the kind of people that are really, really keen in Russia are interested in going to an abandoned village and meeting a nice woman there and, going on a road trip. They're not particularly interested in seeing the day-to-day life in Russia. So that video was made really just to target people who are not so much really interested in Russia generally, but to try and target a wider audience, really.
Fair enough. And we got iBenglish, or IB English.
English, yeah.
Agree, more B Road Russia videos.
I've got one on the way. It's being edited, yeah.
It's great. Oh, Sergey said it's great that you can speak Ruski. There we go. Guillermo says, I would disagree. Sam's grammar is pretty fine, in my opinion. There we go.
Yeah.
iFlux says your last video was great.
Thank you.
What about Russia encouraged you to stay versus your own country? Well, I guess England, What?
Okay.
Yeah. What encouraged you to stay here?
It's interesting. To start with, so this is 20 years ago, right? So I'm 45 now, so 25, and I was still a big kid, and I was just going out and having fun. Literally, it was a crazy time. So at that time, it was one of the best. I got involved in one of the best professions. So I got a loan from the UK, and I bought an apartment. And so the price of apartments at that time were crazy. Like literally, the first apartment I bought, I think, was for $40,000. And a year later, I sold it for $100,000. And that's what it was crazy. So the prices were crazy. So I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. I don't even have to do anything. Like before that, I was working in call centers and at McDonald's. And I was like, wow, buy an apartment, sell it a year later, and I've made like 50, 60 grand, right? So it was crazy. So it was really good. And I was just able to keep doing that until 2008, because in 2008, the first kind of world economic crisis happened, and then prices kind of froze in Russia for a while. But for that, to start with, it was just that. And then you get so used to then just I was living that life of going out, just enjoying myself, going to clubs and bars and having fun, and wasn't really taking life too seriously. But life, I got used to just living in Russia and just enjoyed it. So I didn't want to go back again after that. I was just kind of like, yeah, used to being here. So.
Sam, Nikos says Sam has the best girls in his videos. I forgot the name of the blonde one.
Blimey. Which is Milena or maybe Svetlana, B-word Russia.
Olga.
Yeah.
How many
girls
Russian
in my
ladies
videos
names
again,
are there?
yeah. The girls in my videos are deliberately for you guys, because I know that you don't like seeing my face, you like seeing their faces. So yeah, so I'm trying my best to add interesting people to my videos for you.
All right, let's do a short question and answer here. How do you come up with stories for your videos? I think we kind of answered that really, but how do you come up with?
We look at trends a little bit
more than maybe Sam's adventure
yeah.
channel.
With B-word Russia, I try and look on the map and try and find something interesting that I think would be an interesting place to visit. I then researched a few little areas around there. There's quite a lot of Russian YouTubers that go to all these kind of like abandoned places, go to these industrial former factories and things like that. So I watched maybe some of their videos. I contacted them, speak with them. But then with YouTube, it's very interesting, isn't it, with Sam's Russian Adventures, because you can make a video that you think is going to be really popular and doesn't get any views, and then you make another one because you're just bored and you get loads of views. So it's really weird. It's kind of
Zangiv is here, by the way. He's is he waving? Or Zangiv, I think we both know him through the English-speaking YouTube community. I don't know if I told you this story, Sam, and I don't think I really told anybody. But when I was filming the Kuznets Itochka video last week, I thought Zangiv lived in that district somewhere. And I sent him a message that I'm there if you maybe want to meet. And then I checked my messages when I'd already left and was catching the bus to go back home. And he was in a car passing me on the highway.
Oh, you said, I think you told me.
Oh, I mentioned this. Okay, so... So what's the next question? What is your favorite video on, I guess, your favorite video of your channels? Is there one that sticks out more than others?
Interesting. So I filmed a few videos in the Ivanovo region that I really, really liked. So this is on Sam's Russian Adventures. I filmed a few different videos. One about fish from the Volga, it's called. Another one in a place called Plyos in the Ivanovo region, also on the Volga. And I really, really enjoyed those videos. Lots of Soviet stuff. One, I went inside an abandoned psychiatric hospital. Pretty scary. They were really cool, but for some reason YouTube didn't really show them to anyone. I only got like about 500 views, I think, for them. But they were really cool. Yeah, one guy's I was looking for fish and I ended up buying fish. What's the word? Capchone, what's it called? Smoked fish out the boot of a taxi driver's car. It was really just mad. Yeah, just crazy the people you meet, when you go to these places. So I really enjoyed the videos in the Ivanov region. Yeah.
Tatiana says she's actually written in Russian, but I can translate it on my other screen over here. Well, Sam speaks very decent Russian. I wish everyone was like that. I guess maybe she's referring to English people or expats or people that have come to live here. Maybe she's talking about me, who doesn't speak enough Russian, versus you, who completely emerges.
I think mine was more out of necessity, because when I came here, we didn't have iPhones and we couldn't order taxis by pressing a button. Even in the town, even where I live, so there wasn't supermarkets. There was only one supermarket, I think, and when you had to buy things, you had to go to these places where you have to order everything from behind the counter, like a village shop. So it got to the stage where if I need a taxi, it's -20 outside, I can either go walk down the street and hold the thumbs out, as we often used to do, and just flag anyone down, or you'd have to call a taxi. Or if you wanted to, you couldn't order things. There was one takeaway pizza place. There was no delivery of food or anything like that. So you had to do it. So you had to put yourself in that position. And also, I used to go and watch football in different bars. And so I'd go and watch football, and you'd learn all the Russian swear words and all stuff like that when you watch football. So I picked up a lot of stuff there, yeah.
Graham Brown says, good evening from Glasgow, like both your vlogs of normal Russian life. Glasgow. I like Sam's videos a lot. They're fun and always about something surprising happening.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
Zangief is saying hello. Yeah, funny coincidence that I met. Well, I didn't meet Zangief as I was waving out the bus window as he was in a car at the traffic lights. So I'm hoping he was waving back, but that was kind of a greetings from Moscow, Sam. I'm going to star a few of these and come back to the questions in a little while. Sam's Izzy Bag says, Sam, you are a cool man.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Someone said to put Sam's link in the chat, would like to sub to his channel. So Love Pugs. I've actually got it in the description of the video. If you want to go to the description of the video, it's there. And it's, Sam's Russian Adventure if you type it into a YouTube search, correct? So the question for you, Sam, that I've got here, what are the main viewers of your videos? Without giving percentages and statistics away, what is your biggest audience, I guess?
So it used to be until a few months ago. Yeah, until a few months ago, it was UK and US. But now I've got a lot more Russians on there now. You know, at the end of the day, you're at the hands of YouTube. It depends entirely on who YouTube wants to show your channel to. So obviously I make videos for the English speaking audience, but my biggest now percent I think is Russians again.
All right, I'm just going to post your channel into the chat so that it's there. So that'll come up there. There's a link where you can click over to that. So what do your viewers write about in the comments? I guess generally answered. What sort of comments do you get?
It's interesting. I get a lot of people that are just really interested to see things, that are interested in the differences between where they live in the world and what I show them in my videos. And I think a lot of people are perhaps surprised at some things because they don't expect it to be the way that I show, because they expect it to be awful, I think. And then you get your few haters, don't you? And it's weird, the haters. I think, they'll write like 10 comments in every video, and I think, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's like what you do for your life is like, it's just crazy. It's just really weird, isn't it? Like the right crazy comments. But yeah, that's kind of like.
Let me just pin these few comments here. Ashanti says hello, by the way. Hello. Ashanti. Sergio says Russia is 100% safe. I've pinned a few. I've starred some comments that I can come back to. If we. So how long have you lived in Russia? We already went through that. About 20 years. I think you always say that roughly in your videos, right?
Yeah.
So you are really one of the OG Brits here.
Brits, there's a few other Brits, but obviously they're not YouTubers, right? So there's a few people that have been here way longer than me, right? Yeah.
What did you do back in England? Did you mention this? What you did prior to coming to?
So I wasn't really, it was weird because when I was younger, as I said in my other video that I just made, I was a bit of a rude boy, right? So, I smoked things I shouldn't smoke every day, and I did things that I shouldn't be doing. And I went to university, but I just went to university and then just failed university because I wasn't really caring. I was young. I was still young in my mind when I was even like 25. I worked at McDonald's for a long while. I worked in a few call centers and stuff like that. I didn't really, what I knew was so one of the reasons why I decided to just make a change is because I knew that, I'm not doing anything. My friends, we're all in the same boat, right? And I thought, I've got to get out of this, this life I'm living. It's not going anywhere. Let's just try something new. Yeah, so that's what I was doing, really, just messing around, really. As a lot of people do when they're young, they think, I'll be young forever, and you just don't really take life seriously. That was where I was at.
The next question is, what Russian habits have you adopted since, I guess, living in Russia? Like a habit. I guess you'd have to go to typical Russian habits.
It's interesting because when you say habits, there's probably some things with like I say, oi. Like, especially if you're watching football and you're about to score a goal, you're like, oi, or something. Yeah. I didn't say the full word. But yeah, so there's some expressions that you'd say that or maybe you'll see something that you don't like and you say, oi, fool, which is like, not nice. Yeah. So things like that.
Ужас.
Yeah. Ужас, yeah. You say ужас, and things like that will just come out, but I think
So a lot of expressions and comments
expressions, I think,
are a habit that you've picked up.
Definitely. I remember when I was watching football with my mates in the UK, and I was like saying things like, "Are you saying that? That's weird. Don't say that." Yeah. So, yeah.
What's Sam? We see that Russia has. We see that. Tatiana is Tatiana, right? Sam, we see that Russia has influenced you very well.
Yeah, it's changed me a lot. I've grown up here. I've grown up and turned into a man from a boy. Definitely, that's one thing.
And then this is a sorry. What is one of what? Sorry. What can't you get used to in Russia to this day? I guess you can.
Interesting.
Maybe a habit, maybe a something.
So I think it's crazy when people overtake when you can't see the road ahead of you and it's misty and you're going top speed of 70 and they're going 200 past you and you can't even see the road ahead of you, but somehow they're overtaking and it's fine. What can I? So I don't like sala, the pork fat.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I can't do it. Just the thought of it is horrible. Also, I don't really eat pork ever. So even like pork barbecue and stuff is not for me. Trying to think what things.
You don't like barbecues?
I like barbecues, but I like chicken, a lamb. I just don't do the pork thing. Yeah.
And it's a big thing with shashlik, right? The pork.
Yeah. You go to people's houses and they just generally, if they don't know you're coming, they'll generally just cook pork, right? So that's one thing. But most things, I think, I'm kind of.
So Mario says there, one of the interesting things about Russians is that they don't wear shoes inside the house. So when you go to someone's home, you take your shoes off and you put slippers on.
So that's the same in the UK. I don't know what it's like in Australia. I know in America you wear shoes, right? But in the UK, if I tried to go inside someone's house with shoes on, you can't do
in Russia, it's absolutely polite. Even if you don't know them or if you're meeting for the first time, still take your shoes off when you go inside. Jan Turek says, hello from Czech Republic.
Oh, nice.
All right. Wait, how many questions do I have left here?
I don't know if it's Jan or Jan. I think it's Jan, yeah.
Jan.
Yeah.
Jan?
We've been speaking a little bit as well.
Many foreigners consider Russian... Oh, so there we go. Many foreigners consider Russian people to be gloomy and silent. Do you agree with this?
So I think I'm kind of a bit like that in the sense that when you can go down the street, like you just literally wouldn't pay attention to anyone. You're in your own world, don't pay attention. So someone could say, oh, did you see that criminal that just robbed a bank? I'd be like, didn't even notice them. Yeah, so I get that. But I have conversations with people all over the place. I think I try and start conversations. So if I'm standing at the light trying to cross the road, I'll say something about something and the lady next to me will start speaking, or, for I even like just random people like security guards in a petrol station, I'll, start speaking because, they're bored, sitting there all day. They want to have a chat. So I'll chat to everyone, so I don't know. I think perhaps Russia's a bit more, you only speak to people that you're friends with. Perhaps that's a thing.
So we've got a donation alerts here from Spliff. Now,
Spliff. Is it Spliff End?
It just is. So on donation alerts, by the way, you can put a name, you can type a name, you can put anonymous, you can type whatever you like. It isn't like a login.
Right. Okay.
And it says, may I ask you both gentlemen if you're going to visit and showcase some posh Russian places and shops? I believe there are many. It'd be very captivating. Oh, it would be so captivating to see such places in both Moscow and Vladimir. Posh,
interesting.
And kind of showcase some posh Russian places.
Right. So posh shops, we don't really have any. So posh shops, you have to go to Moscow. We've got a few nice restaurants, but like for anything, we don't even have any designer clothes shops in Vladimir at all. But I've been to my friends' houses who are kind of middle class and have swimming pools in the houses and stuff like that, I usually get a lot of hate. It's kind of weird. When I make a video that's in a village, I'll get a lot of hate from Russians that will say, why are you trying to show Russia as bad? And when I go to a nice house, I get a lot of hate from the foreigners that are trying to say, why are you trying to show that Russia's really good? So yeah, but like on my channel, you get a complete mix, really.
So I guess for me, in terms of the shops and supermarkets, so we've got Azbuka Kuza, which is kind of the level maybe above Perikostok as a supermarket. And then actually in Moscow center, there used to be the Ilyasevich supermarket, which has been closed for 3 years now. It's on Sverskaya Street. And then in Gum, they've got the Gastronomy #1 supermarket. Which it's very posh when you go in there, but a lot of the things in there are quite normal that you could buy in other supermarkets. So there is another one that I know of called Globus Gourmet, which I could definitely. It's nothing to do with Globus Hypermarket. It's a it's a very high-end supermarket, which is you don't need a full supermarket to make money in there. You just need, as a friend said, you just need one guy to spend a few 100,000 rubles rather than 20 people to spend a few and it would, in that store, it would be very easy to do that. About posh places, I guess maybe you've got posh.
We don't really have so everyone here. So on the train, on high-speed train, it's like an hour and 40 minutes to Moscow, and maybe a bit longer. They've got the new road that's just been built as well. But so if you want to go high-end stuff, you go to Moscow. Really, there's no high-end there's no palaces like Suzdal. Obviously, there's Kremlins and stuff like that there. That I've been to loads of times and showed loads of stuff like that on videos. So there's that. But I go to restaurants every now and again that I'll show in my videos that are kind of nice. But high-end, there's no kind of there's a couple of oligarchs in our town, but they got massive high fences. You won't be able to show what it's like inside. Yeah. So
Nicholas says hello from Pomona, California. Love Pug says thank you, Russell. So Spliff, thank you. I guess at some point it's a good video idea for you, Sam, to find somewhere posh or fancy or.
So I made a video called "Is this Russia's richest village?" or something like that, and it was a village where one of the oligarchs in Vladimir lives, but it got about 150 views. So I don't think it was one of the
UN says I love Russia, would love to visit Russia as an American. So I think that's a popular thing at the moment. I think at the end of the day, right? I mean, you think about it, that we hear lots of people wanting to come here, but it's a tiny fraction of a percentage of the overall amount of people that visit Russia on a yearly basis, right? Has it ramped up a little bit? Russell has gone to Gum before and to Magnolia. Now, Magnolia, I wouldn't say Magnolia is a Moscow chain of supermarkets, kind of in between Pitorichka and Perikostok. The store that I went to, I happened to be in the district where I'm registered near Vidnoy, and I got out of the bus to get in the metro, and there was a Magnolia supermarket there. And I said to I was with my wife, and I said, let's just pop in and have a look. And the shop was beautiful inside, immaculate. Cool. And I made the video. I mean, I wouldn't call that posh in terms of some of the ones in Moscow center, right in the, the center of Moscow. But the supermarket in Gum is posh, but there's still reasonably good value things you could buy in there. I mean, would I go and shop there? No. I'd maybe buy a drink passing through, but
there is some posh places, if you call them, maybe country houses, places like that, and then these tour bazaars that are everywhere around. They're kind of a tour village kind of thing, made for as a hotel, but over a big, plot of land, with I don't know, a zoo there and all things like that. But again, I've been to these kind of places before. And no one really seems to enjoy them, the videos. I don't know why. Maybe it's.
So Sam, your last name Hoyland is a common name in Ireland, says Vaughan.
So my name is Highland. Hoyland sounds like the first three letters of a rude word in Russian, and then land after it. And there's actually a football player for Man United. I don't know if you're following football, but Hoyland is a football player that plays for Man United. He might be from Finland actually. So yeah.
We've got another donation alerts here saying, "Can you say something in Russian? Could you maybe maybe you can say something to the Russian viewers?"
Я хочу просто благодарить вам за то, что вы смотрите, вообще-то смотрите мой контент, что вы оставите лайки, что вы меня поддерживаете, потому что мне самое главное, мне не русский, потому что я здесь живу, и мне важно, как они оценивают мой контент. Это для меня самое важное. Я могу получить ужасный комментарий от какой-то иностранец, но когда я получу от русский, мне больно, потому что я реально пытаюсь показывать страна, как есть, и я не хочу никого не обидеть, потому что мне очень важно, я вообще-то люблю Россию, я здесь живу, это моя страна, так что, но все равно, спасибо, что вы меня поддерживаете. Ладно, все, я болтать не буду больше.
Thank you, Sam. I pretty much knew about 2 words in that whole thing. And you're obviously talking about how great I am as a friend, how great I am as a person, how amazing I am.
Yeah, I was just basically talking about you and telling you how amazing Russell is. Yeah.
Sam, IB English says, I just put that up there. Sam just did a video on a charity shop, and it was very good. I definitely recommend that one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Because I enjoyed making that video. It was good. It was good fun.
Oh, okay. Claudio did a super chat as well, and I feel bad that I didn't catch that. Thank you so much. There was no comment. Claudio C, $10 super chat. Thank you. Now, it actually kind of relates to this question here. Where has it gone? My gosh. If you skip to this, it would be nice. Here we go. Yeah, it would be nice having you and Sam doing a supermarket video together, maybe with Sam asking some willing locals about what's their choices for, like what they're buying or what reason they're shopping, maybe you'll see them with certain food. Are you having a dinner? Are you having friends over? What do you think? If I come to Vladimir,
definitely.
Claudio wants us to do a supermarket collab. Actually, I've done 2 of them, by the way, on my channel. One was with Ben from New Zealand. So we did a walk around of Globus hypermarket and having him talk about the differences between New Zealand and Russian supermarkets. And then I had the one, I forgot now the name, but we went to a Lenta hypermarket and with somebody from Denmark who lives in Moscow region. And both of them were very popular videos. So we've got another donation alerts. Pretty good Russian and a good vocabulary. Says, that was the person who did the "Can you speak in Russian?" Pretty good Russian, Sam.
Yeah, see, my Russian isn't very good, really. I didn't learn it, so I just kind of picked it up as I went along. So that's probably why, But I'm fine with my level of Russian. I think most people can kind of understand it. So
many villages in Russia, of course, really need attention and financial investments. Maybe Sam's videos will help attract the right attention. Is that probably not the goal of your videos, but I guess the goal for some of them is to highlight the regions, right?
It's difficult because these villages, villages in Russia are actual villages, right? Where 30 years ago, the people that live in those villages will either be working at some purpose-built Soviet factory or perhaps some sort of industry that was there, or they'd have worked on one of the collective farms, right? Now, both of those would have now closed, and so there's no businesses in the villages. So it's very difficult to, for those villages to then, get better, because in the Soviet days, it doesn't matter if they weren't making profit or not. But now, if a company was going to move there and open a factory, then they want to make profit, right? So are they going to open there, or are they going to open on the side of a motorway in Moscow? More likely, right? Where it's going to be easy and accessible and stuff. So those villages are pretty much dying. Obviously, you get new areas of new cottage settlements, they're called, yeah. And sometimes they're next to villages, but really the villages are, unless they're a picturesque place, they're probably going to die out over a certain amount of time. Unfortunately, that's kind of the way it is.
Eleanor says here, I get the feeling Russians aren't that hyped about posh stores or restaurants like in the West. I think maybe that's probably more on your end in Vladimir than it is in Moscow, because there's obviously a very big scale of how rich or poor people are in Moscow versus in Vladimir being a more regional area. Of course, like you said, there's some oligarchs there as well. But I mean, if I count my town where I live here, I'm 50 kilometers from Moscow. We only have one restaurant in our whole town here. And then you can do online delivery club and things like that and have things brought to you. But there is only one physical place where you can have a sit-down meal. And I'm 50 kilometers from Moscow because people cook at home, right? That really relates to Spliff's donation alerts before there. So
I was just going to say that, so we've got quite a few nice restaurants, but they're not like really high end. There's a couple that you could spend a lot of money at. But really, again, like, what are you gonna, even compared to like, for like 20 pounds, that didn't you spend more than that, like 20 euros, 2,000
rubles, right?
Yeah, and that's going to be a great meal with a salad, a dessert, a soup, and a main course, and even
one
like a couple of beers with that, So.
A posh one is Baketil. I think this is a supermarket in Moscow, but I haven't been to. That even my wife has mentioned I need to go there. There's one on Tverskaya Street, and I'm certain this is the same one that my wife has told me I need to go there. So
never heard of it before. We don't have really. We just have like the main ones, really, like in our town. So
where are we here? So. Okay, sorry, I'm just skipping through things. Let me just go to a couple of these starred comments. I'm a Slavic descent from what is now Croatia. I was working on getting a Croatian EU citizenship. Would a visitor's visa be easier for me to get once I have Croatian citizenship? That's a pretty long. Does it matter? I think he's talking about coming to Russia. Does it matter which passport you hold? I think it doesn't really matter, right? Coming from Europe to Russia.
You got now?
I have a Slavic thing.
Like, what's it? Where I don't. It depends where you are now, I guess. I mean, if you're
citizenship.
If you're from Somalia right now, for example, it might be easier to get. Once it might be. I don't know really. To be fair, like it depends where you're from. I don't know where you're from, mate. So Slavic descent. If you like Slavic descent.
Yeah. TechPick0204 says, a good question for Sam. When will you start your Russian adventures?
Okay. So my adventures on B-Road Russia, do you mean? Or
honestly and truly, if everybody is here from Sam's Russian adventure channel and maybe doesn't know you've got a second channel, I think it's probably appropriate to watch some of the B-Road Russia videos because it is almost like a different Sam in those videos as well.
Definitely.
It's not probably the Sam's Russian adventure, maybe sometimes where you do a bit of a piece to camera and a bit opinionated here and there. It's less about that, I think.
Yeah.
And then we have, does he live in Moscow? Actually, maybe you can let everybody know around the world.
Okay.
So I know, Sam, you live in Vladimir, which is part of the Golden Ring. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then how far are you technically from Moscow? So
on a high-speed train, it's an hour and 40 minutes. Can you imagine that? If you get the slow train, it can take you almost 4 hours. But so literally in the car.
How far in kilometers?
It's 100. It's called kilometer Moscow. Yeah, I'm just asking someone.
No, you got the brain trust with you there.
Okay, we've got about 150. I think it's more than that. I think it might be 180. But yeah. So.
Is it difficult for a foreigner to obtain legal residence? Is it difficult for a foreigner to obtain a legal stay in Russia? I think the answer to that is no, but I guess.
Yeah, you just need to decide what your purpose for coming here is. If you're on your own, the two best ways to come to Russia is either to study or to probably the best way to get into Russia, become an English teacher, even if you don't really want to be an English teacher, because people are crying out for English teachers. So there's loads of jobs for English teachers, right? So you don't even have to be qualified, really, just be able to speak English, right? And you'll get a job as an English teacher, and then while you're here, you can apply for residency, and then you can stay for as long as you want.
Winnie1223 says, to any of you, what is or are the weirdest cliches you've recently heard from your non-Russian friends? Cliches like we all play balalaikas, we all eat hedgehogs, things like this. What's the weirdest cliche?
Interesting. So my friends just kind of like make fun out of like stereotypes because they know what it's like really because they speak to me, but like I don't know, they just make fun of. My friends really laugh at the fact that hamburger is called Gamburger. They think that's really funny.
And who's the guy that's
it's the Gamburglar?
And who's the person without saying Harry Potter? How do they say it in Russian?
Potter, yeah,
Gary Potter instead of Harry Potter.
So they think it's really funny, those things. Also, the fact that God in English is God, right? But in Russian, it's bog. And obviously, bog in England means poo. It means like toilet, doesn't it? Going to the
toilet,
bog.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So they think, they think that's really funny as well.
Rocco says, is Russia safe for an American considering relocating? I think that, I guess for me personally, I don't think it matters what country you're from. And I think Russia doesn't care, if you want to call it as a whole country, where you're from, as long as you follow the laws and rules and everything like that. Do you think it's safe for an American considering relocating?
Yeah, no, you're not going to get people on the street, hating, punching you because you're an American, because they're going to be more concerned. It's going to be a massive problem for them to be somehow, doing something to a foreign national. That's the last thing they want, right? So, people will want for you as a foreigner to love their country. So the opposite, they'll probably say to you, oh, you're American, right? Come on, we'll take you for a barbecue and a banyo and go swimming in the ice and show you how we live here and see if you can handle it. That's more likely the kind of response you'd get, if any. People will be interested to learn your views about their country, and they'll want to take you under their wing and show you stuff.
We have another donation alert here from Guillermo Stradi. I think we had from the beginning of the chat. Hi guys, hi again guys. I've been wondering whether there'll be a stream like this one on Sam's channel with both of you. That would be awesome. Like we could do a reverse stream where I'm asking me questions.
I've never done live stream before, so I need to set it up and find out how to do it. It'll probably be a disaster, but perhaps me and Russell can sit together in the same room and he can we'll do a live stream together. Yeah, maybe like that.
So Guillermo, so basically, again, we talked about at the beginning there, the donations are going towards the what is it called again? For the Travel to Sam fund of me coming. Cool. So basically, the donations for this stream will go towards me coming there, maybe staying with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Come for more than maybe you've got a sofa there. I can.
Yeah, I've got a sofa.
So and we can go out for dinner and that's proper. So thank you, Guillermo Stradini, for the donation alerts. I appreciate it. We'll go back to the starred comments here. How did you learn the Russian language? What will you recommend for someone trying to learn? I learned from words mentioned your two videos, Myruski, Poloski, Nicholas Smith, South Africa. How did you learn real Russian? Would you recommend?
So I'm like a really bad learner, and that's probably why. If you're a Russian speaker, if you're actually native Russian, you realize my Russian is not very good. And basically, so I actually had, so for a while, so I was talking about visas before. So I actually had a student visa in Russia for about 6 years, but actually paid for lessons, but I didn't go to them. So in theory, I went like once every month to a lesson. Just couldn't be bothered as an adult learner to go and study Russian. So I kind of picked it up just by speaking to people. You'll pick it up loads more when you're here. But music and films really good. So like I made a video recently about Brigada, this series, like a long series with loads of episodes, things like that. They speak pretty easy Russian to understand, and you kind of pick up things. Yeah, so definitely music and films, I'd say.
Sorry for looking away when you're talking, but I'm just picking up on the chat, and you're obviously answering the questions to the viewers, right? Even I don't look up at my camera often enough. By the way, we're just ticking over 1 hour. We've got 226 people watching live.
Wow. Is that a lot? So I don't know. Is that a good amount?
So when I do a live stream alone, when I do this 10, 11 p.m. time slot, it's about 100 to 120.
Oh, wow.
So we're at double the amount of people.
Brilliant.
So maybe half is your friends and half is my friends. Let's call it.
There's probably 75% your friends and 25 mine, but I'm happy to go 50-50.
Let me just scroll through here. Hedgehogs are very tasty, someone said. I think that is very much a cliche that even a lot of Russians think that everybody thinks, right? Eating hedgehogs. I hope I heard that wrong. Yes. Sorry, let me just... I'll do this one straight away here. The Truth Teller says, is it true Russians drink too much vodka, especially the late adult and elderly people? I guess that's a cliche as well in a little way.
It's interesting because I think older people, because they drank vodka in their generation, because that was the go-to probably drink, they probably drink vodka. I think the younger generation don't drink as much now. You know, when I first came to Russia, you go to a bar and the massive fat 50-year-old with the girls, because this is like going back to those kind of like times, you know, would be the king of the club, whereas it's not like that anymore. You know, I think how many people go to the gym? Like, I'm really ashamed because in Russia, in Vladimir, in our region, so it's an outdoorsy place, right? So it'll be the beginning of summer, we'll go for our first barbecue. Everyone will go shirtless in the photo, and I'll be there with my belly sticking out, and all the Russians will be completely ripped. You think, wow, you know, yeah. So I think it's a bit of a myth. I think Russia are about 15th place in the world when it comes to alcohol consumption. So yeah.
Let's go back to a comment just here. Someone just asked, is there, IB English, is there a proper fish and chip shop in Russia? If so, could you make and include it in a YouTube video?
Yeah, so there isn't one in Vladimir, definitely. I don't know if there's one in Moscow somewhere.
I've never seen like the fish and chip shop, as we would call it.
So every now and again, you'll see fish and chips on a menu. But like, it won't be real fish and chips, you know, it'll be some version of fries with maybe a piece of fish that's been fried, you know, but like not really like not a fish. Yeah, no, I miss fish and chips so much.
Barack Biden said, I don't know if I'm reading this right. There is this street with a restaurant behind, and those stairs that climb down off that street where Sam usually does the questions to people in that street. Where is this? I guess maybe
okay.
Is that the main street in Vladimir?
That is so it's actually on the main street. So the name of the street is Bolshaya Moskovskaya. So big Moscow street. It's a large Moscow street maybe. And the house number is 19A. So what it is, it's the walking side of the shopping center. So and on the shopping center, you know, on the first floor shops actually open onto the street. So yeah, so it's the kind of like, yeah, what's it called? Pedestrian zone of the shopping center.
So being IB English again, at what point does Sam bite the bullet and buy a Lada? And give up on your...
It'd be fun, you know, it'd look good in the videos, but it'd be just horrible to drive, wouldn't it?
Right.
You know, I don't know, it might be new Ladas, I don't know, but like...
They're not that much fancier. The new Lada Niva, the Lada Travel and Sport are not that much fancier than the classic Lada Niva.
Okay, yeah.
I guess he maybe watches your channel and knows of your ongoing problems with your car.
Yeah, my car, yeah. Continuous problems, yeah. I mean, Lada would be good for the videos, you know, it might be fun every now and again to, you know, film myself in a Lada, but I wouldn't like to actually drive to the destination in one, so yeah.
Oh, this is another one about your Porsche. Dirk VR says, hello, Russell and Sam. 2 questions. Russell, you don't have a car. Don't you miss it sometimes? And would you want to buy one? I'll ask your question, Sam. You drive a Porsche. What about spare parts and the cost of them? So how's that?
So it's interesting. So if you need the original parts, it's a fortune. But if you just need, so obviously when it comes to car parts, so the Porsche was based on the Audi Q8, was it, or something like that?
No,
So
the Volkswagen Touareg.
Oh, Volkswagen, yeah, Touareg. That's what I meant. Yeah, the Volkswagen Touareg. So thanks for saving me there. So I'm really bad with cars. And yeah, so there's universal parts that were built by lots of Chinese companies for the Volkswagen Touareg. So hopefully it's a part that you can get from there. But if you need a Porsche part, yeah, it's a nightmare. It's obviously
Janice wants to know what a bog is.
So a bog is actually the official name, I think, is bolota. So it's like swamp, right?
Mm-hmm.
So swamp is a bog, right? But
English slang.
We also it's like the place where you go for the toilet. So it's like a toilet as well, because it's just like a smelly place you go for the toilet. I guess it originated from that. So kids would say, "I'm going to the bog." It's kind of like So yeah.
Somebody in Russian here says, in English though, do you like reading Russian literature? What's your favorite Russian authors?
Interesting. I'm not a book person really. Even with books in English, I don't really. I used to buy books, so I use Audible, but I only buy Audible books really if I want to learn something. Like not particularly, I'd love to be one of these book readers, but I'm just not. Yeah. So sorry about that. I don't really read. Master and Margarita. Yeah, it's maybe my one book that I read.
Okay. Sam has girls on his channel. Russell has supermarkets and many times more subscribers. What does that mean?
I think people. Yeah, go on. You can maybe answer. I don't know.
Oh no. I think no. You're good. You're good.
Okay. So I think that people are interested to see the comparisons of things that we have in all different countries. Girls, obviously, girls. It's great to see girls, right? But it's also really interesting to see, what a park is like in Russia compared to a park in America, or what the prices of things are like in a supermarket in Russia compared to the supermarket in America. I think possibly a girl in a supermarket would be the best way, But I think So I think people obviously are interested in Russian girls, but perhaps not people that are actually really interested in Russia are interested in Russian girls. Perhaps that's an interesting thing. I think people that are actually interested in Russia want to see life in Russia, and people that are just don't really care about Russia at all, but like Russian girls, Russian girls.
Jan Turak says, "Is there a Burger King in Russia still?"
Yeah, we've got Burger King. We've got a few Burger Kings in my town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So depending on the location you go to, most of them now have got the Cyrillic spelling of Burger King.
Okay.
Versus what used to be the American or the English spelling of Burger King. And I've noticed that in some of the locations where they've changed it. I wonder if that was just a thing they did, or definitely in Moscow.
They haven't been there for a while.
There is the only. Oh, no, we now have KFC and Burger King in my town. When they extended.
We've got KFC as well here. Yeah.
So KFC is still here. Well, it's now, depending on where you go, it's Rustics.
Okay.
That's from Jan. I'm going to say Jan now, not Jan. I'm sorry, Jan.
Okay.
Your
name is Jan now. Okay.
Do they have good coffee places in Vladimir? Let's say that rather.
Everywhere. Yes. Loads and loads, hundreds of them. Yeah, loads of them.
Gulamis asks. Oh, Gulami, thank you again for. LeBlanc. I really enjoy Sam's. When Sam asks questions to people on the street, you need to do that again, but outside of Vladimir.
Mm-hmm.
Like these Q&A, what these
one question. So on B Road Russia, if you subscribe to B Road Russia, you'll see places outside of Vladimir. And I have done quite a few outside of Vladimir on Sam's Russian Adventures, but I try. It's a bit weird because I don't want the channels to end up being quite similar. So I do. Because if I'm traveling to places on Sam's Russian Adventures and traveling to places in B Road Russia, then so I try and make Sam's Russian Adventures more about kind of things about Russian life, and then B Road Russia more about the traveling. If that makes sense.
What about cannabis? Available or not? I genuinely don't know.
So you can get it anywhere you want, but I don't recommend it. So I've never smoked weed here. I'm not gonna so I smoked weed a lot in the UK in my younger years. So But obviously, yeah, it's like anywhere, right? In America, before it was
Yeah.
obviously not like America. Yes,
Cannabis is illegal in Russia.
Yeah, but it's illegal. Yeah, but you can still get it, obviously. But I would not want to recommend you to get it. But obviously, you can do if you want it. So in Russia, how it works is interesting. Yeah. So if you meet like dealers in different, if you were in a different country, you probably meet the dealer somewhere. In Russia, they bury it around the town, and then they just send you an address and location of a picture where it's buried, and then you have to go there, dig it up.
Interesting. Rovan HD says, "Are there street mosaics in Vladimir? What do you think about mosaic art?"
Yeah, so I really love those Soviet things, anything kind of Soviet. I've actually made a video which is called All of Vladimir's Soviet Mosaics in one video, where I went around to about 35 different destinations in Vladimir and filmed every single mosaic in the town.
IB English says, "Can you put on one of your fancy hats, Sam? Probably you don't have one on the chair."
So I'm not at home right now. I'm not.
Oh, you're on an. You're
maybe
on
I can turn the camera around a second. Może ja pewną kamerę, nie?
Nelly wants to know why Vladimir and not Moscow. Okay. Oh, that's your producer, your channel
producer. Yeah. So yeah.
Why Vladimir and not Moscow?
So I just came to Vladimir when I was initially. Because when I very first came to Russia, the people that invited me to Russia from this town, and what happens is you become grounded in one place, and it becomes very difficult even for a Russian to move places, to go and live in a different city. Moscow, I like to go for a weekend and things like that, but I'm not really a fan of big cities. So yeah, Vladimir is good for me.
Can you buy British beer in Moscow? British, as in English imported beer, let's call it.
It's a Moscow question. Yeah, that's for you.
Oh, Moscow. Well, yeah, you can get Guinness, which is Irish, and then I think there is. I don't really go and buy. I really just buy whatever beers on special, or even just Stella Artois. I'm not even like bothered what I drink.
I thought you were drinking Castlemaine Forex.
Yeah, that's readily available in Russia.
Does that still exist?
Yes, Forex. It's called Forex. We don't say Castlemaine because no one knows that place. But yeah, I mean, the actual most popular beer for a long time in Australia was Corona, based on sales statistics. But Forex was a massive advertising campaign in the 80s, 90s. And then Foster's, of course, is worldwide advertising brand as well. I don't think I've seen any Australian beers. Oh, when I went to that beer shop in Moscow and I made the video, we found a couple of like microbrew Australian beers.
Yeah, I've seen a few British ones like that as well.
Cooper's Pale Ale was one, which is a South Australian beer. It's not very well known Australia-wide. So, Ilya wants to know, do I speak Russian? Malenki Poruski.
Немножко. Я немножко говорю по-русски.
Немножко. Oh yeah, El Acapulco. There is so much local beer. Just tried that El Acapulco.
Okay.
It is a lot like Corona. Have you seen that beer? It's the Corona clear glass bottle with Corona on it. So there's one called El Acapulco, which is obviously a Mexican city.
I'll try that. Thank you.
What's the starred questions I've got here? Zangiv, if you're still here. So this is really to me. Zangiv did a supermarket with some of his friends. Would be good that you and Sam make one. I guess we talked about that earlier. If you remember, maybe Zangiv made it with Nikki Proshin and Inside Russia when Konstantin was in Russia. And it got a lot of views. They went to a Globus supermarket together, like late at night, because it was 24 hours open. And all three of them did a separate shop, and they all sat down and talked about what they bought.
Oh, okay, interesting.
What your typical shopping is, what my typical shopping would be.
Interesting.
And then they talked about it. And
good.
So that's something we could work on, I think.
Let's do that, definitely.
Sam, do you like Soviet and Russian movies about England? Is there a Soviet and Russian movie about England?
Английское убийство. Я не смотрел такое, не знаю.
There's a little bit in Russian after that, which I can't highlight.
I don't know it either. So I don't know either of those films. I haven't actually watched them. Young Lord.
Oh, maybe they're mentioning the names of the video. Sorry, let me put it back up.
So Young Lord Fount Leroy. I don't know. I haven't watched either of them, and then just Anglisk Obist, but I don't know. I'll have a look, and then maybe I'm going to try and make some of these Soviet videos and these reviews for videos. So I'll watch a couple of them.
So Adequate Xiaomi guy sent a donation alerts. Unfortunately, you skipped one of my comments. Maybe he's got a different name on the chat than on here. Sam, your speech in Russian was so heart-touching. Thank you very much. So maybe you can reply in Russian if you want to.
Спасибо. Спасибо за то, что правда. Честно, я это искренне все рассказывал. Как и есть. Так, как и есть. Спасибо.
You and Sam can do a video on Burger King, says Ewan. Claudia Yaslav is something in Russian there.
Hello.
Sorry.
Okay, we understand you a little. Thank you for the stream.
Does Sam have a dacha and grow vegetables?
So Sam was building a house until Sam ran out of money, and now Sam has a half-built house. So until Sam's house is built, Sam won't be able to grow any vegetables. Well, he could, but not yet.
Ilya asked me, I love your videos. I thought you were from Russia, but you're from Australia. Yeah, I'm from Perth, Australia. And Sam is from Nottingham. I always want to say Nottingham, but it's Nottingham.
Nottingham, yeah.
Not Nottingham. Russian version of Sherlock Holmes was the.
So I just want to give you a pre-warning. I've got 10% of my battery. Shall I try and plug it in somewhere?
Yeah. Oh, we can. What are we at? We're at an hour 16. I think we're right at the bottom of all the questions here.
Okay.
We can probably wind up the live stream, I think, unless we have any more donation alerts, super chats flying at us. The chat seems to have slowed down. Actually, someone just said there that how are the cinemas in Vladimir? Let's do a quick fire round.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They're not like those crazy ones with the amazing chairs and the recline and all that kind of stuff. But they're fine, yeah. We've got like 3 screens in each one.
Sam, do you teach English for Russians?
No, I'd hate to be an English teacher. I used to run an English school where we employed gap year and third-year students from universities in the UK. And every now and again, I'd have to fill in, and it was horrible. I'd hate it. So, yeah, I hate teaching.
And then the British said, has Sam finished building his house yet?
No. The house is still in exactly the same state it was in before, which is...
do you have a cable for your phone, by the way, or is there an extension you can plug in and we can...
Yeah, I'm going to ask somebody that's in the room now, okay?
All right, so I'm going to jump over to me, and then I'm going to mute you for a second, and then give me like a thumbs up when you're ready. All right, everybody, so we're just going to take a temporary pause with Sam there because he needs to plug his phone in, because he's doing it on his phone, and we're basically putting each other into the live stream. Janice says, is Netflix still available in Russia? I just watched the Russian TV show To the Lake, dubbed in English and subtitles. It was pretty good, but they have not released season 2. So Netflix technically is available in Russia, but the problem is you need to have a way to pay for it, which is not available. So the payment gateways are kind of blocked for how Russians were paying for Netflix because of the fact that SWIFT is cut off, Visa's cut off, MasterCard's cut off. So you can access it through a VPN, and then you just need to figure out a way to pay for your monthly subscription, if that makes sense. And I missed most of this live stream. You can scrub back and watch it again, Adrian, if you want to, or you can watch it live, well, on a replay later. Torrent trackers are available that contain many TV series. Yeah, you can download things through torrent sites and different things. I do that occasionally. Most of our movies that we watch on our TV, we download, put on a thumb drive, and then put on the television here. I'm going to star a couple of comments. We're just waiting for Sam to get back here. I've got him on another screen so I can see him. I'm just waiting for a thumbs up or down, and then we'll be good. We've got a thumbs back up again. Yeah, the PayPal. So Jagger, we're just talking about paying for donation alerts. You can pay with PayPal, but if you can't attach a Russian payment to PayPal to pay for the subscription. All right, let's bring Sam back in. I think he's moved around a little bit. So let's just unmute him, add to stage. And
so
Sam
it's kind of like sitting sideways now because the plug is
okay.
not in an okay place. So if that's all right, just kind of sit like this.
Someone said that Sam needs donation. I need donations, and I'll give you a flower. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe that's talking about your house, to finish your house.
Oh, right, maybe, yeah, that'll be good. I need about 15 million rubles if you can worth of flowers.
So yeah, Sam needs donation to finish his house. Pretty impressive if you haven't seen the progress of it so far. Yeah, I mean, there's the shell of it, right, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I missed some of the live stream. Someone just talked about, is Netflix available? I kind of explained it, but the payment gateway is the problem to pay for Netflix. Susan, who is a channel member of my channel here, says, Sam, we liked your thrift store escapades.
Oh, wow.
Too bad the red pants didn't fit you.
Yeah, I felt like what's the word? Like an elf from a Santa Claus film. So yeah. I'm glad you liked the fit. Glad you liked it. Thank you.
What about stereo equipment made in Russia?
Interesting. Because like all stereo equipment's built in China. Right. So I don't know. I mean, there might be stereo equipment in Russia. I haven't bought any stereo equipment for ages, right? So I don't know.
So you'll need to do a video showing supermarket in Sam's area. So yes, I think that's our automatic first video. Definitely. Go to Sam's Russian typical supermarket. It's great, but what holidays? What about Russian holidays? Diet Moroz is the person's channel name. New Year, it's great, but what holiday do you like?
Interesting. What's my favorite holiday? There's so many holidays in Russia, right? So many holidays. So I'd probably say, I like Easter and I like Maslenitsa because it's the end of winter, right? And you feel great. Spring's coming and that's really good. What other holidays do I like? There's so many. To be fair, I like just days where, even not necessarily the holiday, but days where you just get to go out on a hot summer's day to the lake, have a barbecue and go for a swim in the lake and maybe go camping and stuff like that. That's what I like that's my favorite time of the year. New Year's obviously great, New Year's, New Year. But yeah, there's loads of holidays in there. I think, I think Maslenitsa is the best one for me.
I think one thing. That's the pancakes, Maslenitsa.
Yeah, you burn the
effigy
thing. Yeah.
So I didn't bring this up earlier, but someone did put a comment, and I didn't mention it. This is Andrew Kopisla, put a super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat. So, without getting political, and not because that's not my channel. I don't talk politics. I don't talk about I like this, you like that, I like this. So Putin made history in the USA. Everybody desires him as a leader. I'm so disappointed in our leaders. That interview has everyone talking. I think Andrew's talking about the Tucker Carlson interview and how it got 100 million views on Twitter in the first few hours on his channel on Twitter. And then there's obviously a lot of them. Did you watch the interview?
Yeah, so I watched most of it. I actually watched it at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So
because it was aired about 2 a.m., wasn't it, originally?
Right, okay, So I kind of like decided I wasn't going to watch it and then thought, okay, I'm going to. So it's interesting because, from what I watched, it was, though I didn't learn anything new from it. It was, I expected that's what he'd think because also in the Western shows, people like, people like Russell Brand, people like that. Yeah, that's exactly what they've been covering for the last, couple of years. So with regards to the whole Ukraine situation, right? So, yeah, I didn't really learn anything from it. I expected he was going to say those things. So I hope that they'll show it on the news in the UK. So far, they've only shown that Putin wants nuclear war. Basically, that's what they said.
They've picked certain clips out of it,
Definitely.
not the greater 2-hour full video. I mean, you can watch it on YouTube in English. You can watch it in Russian. You can watch people's reacting to it. There's a lot of ways that you can watch it, not just sitting on your own watching it.
Yeah.
And then obviously that person reacting to it, that's their opinion.
Yeah.
Susan said that she watched the India. So yeah, thank you, Andrew, for the super chat. I guess you're talking about not everybody likes their leaders versus, you know, I mean, I think it's very tough to kind of interpret that interview because a lot of Russians, like you said, and you included, a lot of people understood what he said and understood his answers. I mean, did Tucker Carlson not prod enough, or was it predetermined questions?
I think I'd hate to be a leader of any country. It'd be the worst job in the world.
Yes.
So, you know, we always complain about our leaders. Like, I don't think we should wait from our leaders to make our lives good. Otherwise, everyone always hates their leaders. That's their job, is to be hated, isn't it? So,
Thank you. You're talking to God. Great live stream. They're leaving. Thank you. There's still 200 people watching live, by the way, Sam.
Wow.
With 268.
We should have said, I wonder if we'd said like Russian girl shown at the end or something on Sam's side. And then we could have got like a few more waiting as well to see.
I like your supermarket videos. I saw the India Day Festival on Russell's channel. Is that a yearly event? I'd like that holiday. Yeah, okay. So that event is basically a Russian festival over 3 days. And they do it in a park in Moscow because it's so big now. But it's not celebrating a Indian holiday because they have one on January 26th on Australia Day. There's an India Day event, but they don't celebrate it in Russia. I think just the Indian community in Moscow get together and do that India festival, and it really is very popular.
Cool.
Is it possible to go on vacation in Russia without any worries? Are there tourists in Moscow, and from where? I guess you can answer the first part there. Is it safe to go on a vacation in Russia?
Russia's a safe place. People in Russia Russian people want to show for you to see the best of their country. They want you to go home and tell everyone that Russia's an amazing place. So, you know, you're not going to have problems. Obviously, I can't guarantee you won't have any problems. It's like saying if you go to anywhere in the world, something could happen. But generally, Russian people are going to be hospitable, ridiculously hospitable, and accommodating. Yeah, to try and help you to do things because they want you to have a great view of their country, basically.
Fireflux says the interview now has 192 million views on Twitter.
Wow.
We've got another super chat from Andrew again. Kupala. When I became an international airline pilot, I quickly learned that people all over the world want the same thing. I think that's really well said, actually.
Yeah.
I think even from the people that I meet, and I mean, even today, for instance, we had some furniture delivered for my wife's nail salon, and I went down. It's basically flat pack, and my wife said, "You've got about an hour to do it. Then I've got a client coming." So the client turned up, and I just said, "Look, I'm going to pack up and leave," and that was the plan, and come back later. So the lady said, "It's okay, keep going for a few minutes," and then the next thing, she's on the phone to somebody. And then my wife says, "Oh, my husband's coming. He'll help you build the furniture."
Wow, that's
and
great.
He turned up about 15 minutes later, and he helped me put it all together. And that's just, well, I didn't even know him. He's one of my wife's clients. I mean, I would say that, everybody wants the same thing, I guess. Let's talk about, I mean, without getting political again, about we all want peace. We all want happiness. We all want our children to grow up. We all want our parents and grandparents to be healthy, and
definitely.
Thank you, Andrew. Where is okay, let's go back to the start comments because we've got a couple. Is a Porsche or or other EU cars easy to service in Russia? Are you aware?
So there's loads of Porsches. Yeah.
Are you aware if you try and drive to EU that they will take away your car at the border as you have Russian plates? Are you aware of that?
Yeah, so I wouldn't try to drive to the EU really, but it's good to know. Thanks, in case I did. Yeah, I was thinking to drive, maybe park the car at the edge of Latvia, and then get a train and then a bus to the, get a bus to the, or train to the airport and then fly to the UK. I thought that could be quite an adventure. But yeah, that's interesting though. Thanks a lot. Just in case I did that, it would be horrible, wouldn't it, to get the car confiscated from you? Thank you. And
they'll probably give you the keys back when they realize some of the problems with it.
Yeah, they'll be like, take it back. And I should just go and get the worst car in the world and just put plates on it and dump it there.
Susan, thank you for your super sticker. No comment, but that's okay. Super stickers are like super chats, but you don't put a comment if you didn't know the difference.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Susan. And she's also a channel member as well. So let me just click this one away. So we talked about the Porsche. How does Sam earn money for a living if it's not a secret?
Yeah, so I do a little bit of affiliate marketing, where you sell other people's products and you get a little bit of commission. And I work a little bit with my brother, who's got a business, which is more consulting with him. And also just YouTube. So on YouTube, you'll be shocked, absolutely shocked at the millions I make this month. In fact, last month, I think I made around about $80 from YouTube. That's my multi-millionaire lifestyle that's supporting me. Yeah. So yeah.
If you respect Russian people, they will be your best friends. I completely agree with that. Absolutely. 1000%, actually. I wouldn't say especially the people that I've become close to here and people that I've met through YouTube and people that I've met randomly who have got my contact details and things like that. I think it takes a little time to warm to Russian people, right? Or for them to warm to you. What holiday do you like the best? I think we talked about that a little. What about the process of opening money transactions to open a bank account there? If I was thinking to travel there, as it's my first trip. So
maybe you will answer.
Yeah, so I know that actually this is a video that I wanted to make, but I know it won't be very popular, but I just want to go to a SberBank, walk in and say, can I open a bank account, and put a stopwatch on my phone. And then you can obviously walk in there as a tourist with a tourist visa and open a bank account, and they'll give you a temporary card without numbers on initially, your name on. And then a few days later, you can come back and get a card. And that's completely possible. And then I think for Tinkoff, they come to you with the card. I think they deliver it to you, right, with Tinkoff Bank. So definitely both of them are available. Thank you. Oh, Andrew is back. Andrew has a Porsche, and it's a full-time job to maintain it.
Yeah, 100% agree, mate. Yeah.
Is that every Porsche owner has that?
There's a saying that in Russia, Porsche and Range Rover owners meet each other at the service. They hate the sight of each other because they're always seeing each other at the service. That's the joke. We have air suspension and it freezes.
Oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, so it freezes, yeah.
I just saw your latest video about the futuristic water taxi and river. So yeah, I made a video about the electric river trams or water taxis. This is a follow-up video, really, because I did it in summer.
Yeah, I remember seeing it in summer. Yeah,
and I went a couple of days ago because I originally was going to go to the supermarket where Tucker Carlson went shopping at, which was Ashan. And then when I went to go there, it was beautiful and sunny. It was minus 15, minus 18, cold, but it was so nice. And if I'd have gone today, it was cloudy and not particularly nice. If you choose, okay, so question for you both. If you could choose only 1 point, what's the best thing about Russia?
Interesting. Wow. People, I'd say. Yeah, I'd say the people.
I guess for you as well, because we're watching your videos a lot and how you talk to people and how you find grandmothers on the street walking by you, and you can just spark up a conversation. And I love that about your videos.
Thank you.
And I think the whole thing with that is, I mean, I think there's a YouTube channel. Someone's told me about this. It's called Everybody Has a Story.
Okay.
And they do basically like an interview with a person, and it can be anybody in the whole world, and everybody has a story and how they are at this point. I mean, like there's two ladies that were on the park bench outside my apartment this afternoon. I see them there every other day, and they must meet every day for a chat on this park bench. And I'd love to know their story, like why they're in a present car, have they lived here all their life? Because they obviously live in my building, really cool. But I know nothing about them apart from a hello, goodbye, a smile with them. And, you know, I can say that as well about the people. I think for me, okay, again, this is going to sound political or propaganda, but I think the freedom, I guess from both of us being YouTubers, our freedom. I mean, I went to Australia back in November for 3 weeks. I didn't make videos. No one really knew I went there. And I couldn't walk in a supermarket and make a video. I couldn't walk in any shopping center and make a video. I couldn't essentially go anywhere and make a video as a YouTuber because it's trespassing, it's private property. I went to one supermarket and the guy was confused with the question because he's not had people ever come in holding a camera or my phone, especially on my phone, right? And I mean, to say the word freedom, it's pretty general, but I guess as YouTubers, that's the bit that I like, you know? I agree with you. And also that, I mean, actually going back to what was the super chat from before there, about everybody, what did he say there? People are wanting the same thing. You know, they go to work, they earn money for their family, for life, for saving for holidays and things like that. Okay, so where are we? I think we're running out of questions here. Are there Indian restaurants in Vladimir?
Indian restaurants. There's one Indian restaurant. It's just like a small thing, run by a couple of guys I know, and they've got like a couple of different curries and things like that.
And are they Indians,
nice.
or is it?
No, so they're actually Russians that just love India. Yeah,
Indian food and Indian dishes,
Indian food and traditions and all that kind of stuff. So was that okay? I cook a lot of food like that myself at home. So yeah, there's a shop called Indian Spices in Moscow. There's a few different chains of it, and you can go and get all the pastes and all the things you need, all the different types of stuff. So yeah.
We have another super chat from TJ. How long did it take Sam to learn Russian?
Yeah, so my Russian isn't that good, but the Russian that I know, I just kind of picked up on the street, and you just kind of like end up just speaking it more and more, and then you get to the point where you kind of don't really care what people think about you, and you just speak it. I'm quite embarrassed when I speak Russian in my videos and I hear it back. I'm quite embarrassed at my level, but when I'm in the street, it's like you just kind of get used to the fact that you can do what you need to do, and And how long did it take? I don't really know. Look, if you do 1 year at Russian university in intensive Russian, you'll speak Russian better than me. Okay, so foreigners that come here to study, if they study a degree, they have to spend 1 year intensive Russian. When they finish that 1 year intensive Russian, they speak way better than me. So, yeah.
Did you design your house by yourself, or was there some agency that helped design it?
So I went to a company and I paid for the whole first part that's been done basically so far. And I like the barn house style. And inside the plan inside that house is very open. So I've got a kitchen and living room together. And yeah, kind of like a balcony overlooking the rest of the house.
Like a mezzanine sort of thing, right?
Yeah. So it's it's kind of like my design, but yeah. So
Eleanor says, I love Sam's spontaneous conversation. We get to know so much about Russians and their lives. Oh, okay. Is a lot of what you do spontaneous when you're on the street, or do you go out?
Well, it depends. If I'm making a video, I'll ask on a particular topic. But usually when I'm traveling to different places, I ask them, have you lived here long? Can you tell me what life was like before? And that just opens them up to people to tell me all about their childhood, all about their life, everything they've done, where they've been, and just like it's like an open-ended question. Yeah. So
Andrew says, thank you. Andrew, thank you so much, by the way, for super chats. You're really, if I could meet a Russian woman and marry her, could I move to Russia and take my money with me?
of course you can.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it doesn't matter where in the world you meet. If anyone doesn't know, I met my wife on a holiday in Thailand. She was on holiday. I was on holiday. We weren't married. I didn't know her. I didn't arrange to meet her. We just met in a bar after a few drinks, and she invited me back for a holiday to Moscow.
That's the old school way. The old school
yes,
way.
Yes, not the online thing, literally. And I was with a Russian guy who I met in an Irish bar every night because I was on a holiday on my own, so I went to an Irish bar every night. And he said, I don't want to meet Russian girls in Thailand because a lot of Russians go there. And what did we do? We met 2 Russian girls. He was there with his mum on holiday, by the way. Sorry. Andrew says there, I would also like to fly for S7 Airlines.
Oh, wow.
It's an international pilot, right?
Wow.
I guess there's a lot of mystere around the airline industry in Russia, and you get stick.
With regards to him moving his money to Russia, there's a few different methods that people can. I know that Raiffeisen don't charge any percent if you send more than 20,000 euros.
Oh, like a wire or something like that,
or they still accept them. And there's also a service, I've forgotten the name, that you can use even with SberBank, where you can transfer money from. It's like Western Union, but it's another name, and they're still working. So you can transfer money.
Rovan says that you got stick for filming in Australia. That's surprising. I didn't get stick. Well, I did because I got a lot of pushbacks from not being. I did actively go and ask all of the supermarket chains where I live. I even emailed the corporate offices over in Melbourne and Sydney, and they didn't want me to film. So Ewan says, I would love to see you and Sam go to Yakutia, the coldest city in Russia and the world.
Let's go there in summer. Let's go there in summer, though.
Even Sam, who's been 20 years in Russia, doesn't want to go there.
I think the interesting thing about the UK, I tried to make a video in the UK before the World Cup was in Russia in 2018, asking British people on the street, or asking people on the street, what they think of Russia. And everyone refused to answer. No one wanted to be on camera. No one wanted to speak to me. And it was very interesting because people say, oh, you know, in the UK, everyone's open to conversation. When in Russia, everyone's closed. Well, no. In the UK, I can't get anyone to go on camera and speak about Russia at all. So,
Sam, have you heard of biltong before?
No. What is that?
No. Biltong is basically dried meats that's primarily done in South Africa.
Okay, wow.
So, like cured meats that are dried and hung up and things like that.
Okay, so we have dried. We have things like, what's the one in America? Beef jerky.
Beef jerky. It's very similar to beef jerky, but it's better.
Okay, so we have stuff like that here in Russia, especially with fish as well, like all dried fish and things like that. People have with beers. We have a whole section of zakuski. They're called like appetizers or maybe snacks that people have with beer and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this is a giveaway on this bit. Have you heard of Mrs. Ball's chutney? Mrs. Ball's.
I know what chutney is. We love chutney in the UK. So yeah.
So Mrs. Ball's is a South African brand. It comes in like a glass relish bottle, and you put it on your burgers. You can kind of put it on everything. Do you miss Marmite?
So I do. You know, Marmite is something I'd have every now and again. I think I'd have like a Marmite phase where I'd have it every day for a month or something, and then I'd forget about it for So you don't have Marmite? Do you have Marmite in?
No, we can buy it in supermarkets because there's an English section in Australian supermarkets.
You have something similar to
Vegemite.
Vegemite.
So it's a yeast extract, very similar to Marmite. And you eat it almost all the same way. What foods do you miss that you don't get in Russia?
So I miss fish and chips.
Oh yes.
I miss the ability to have a really cool curry because, good curry. I don't mean like cool or cold. So in Vladimir, it's okay. but like compared to when you're used to eating loads of different curries. I miss kebabs from the UK. I don't mean doner kebabs, like chicken tikka with naan and yeah. So yeah, I miss that. I miss a couple of chocolates and things like that. I mean, you can get them if you want to. You can probably find like sweets and stuff like that. You can get them anywhere. But like, I do miss a good fish and chips, mushy peas, definitely.
Sorry, I missed the donation alerts here from Anonymous. I assume you missed my DA question, Russell. I just wanted to get your and Sam's opinion on the recent Tucker Carlson interview. Could you please just let me know if you're not willing to answer? I guess we talked about it, but
yeah, he might have joined later. So yeah, so from my point of view, I didn't think Vladimir Putin answered anything different to what I expected him to answer. I agree with the things he answered. I think a lot of the people around the world, they refuse to acknowledge anything that goes against what's been said on the news in their country. I completely understand that. It's much easier to just agree with what you're told rather than actually research and find out it couldn't be true. It might not be true, because then you sleep worse, don't you? So understand that. I mean, I've lost contact with one of my best friends, because he refuses to acknowledge any other scenario apart from the scenario that he thinks is real. So he refuses to speak to me. We don't speak anymore, which is a shame. So everything that I thought, what Vladimir Putin said, I thought I expected him to say, because they're the answers to the questions that I would think are the answers as well. So yeah.
Andrew says again, thank you, Andrew. You're really. A few years ago, I was flying a 747 and blew a bunch of tires off, taking off from Hong Kong. It damaged the plane, and I diverted to Khabarovsk.
Wow.
From Hong Kong to Khabarovsk.
That's mad. That's crazy. I'd hate to be in charge of a plane. I'd have crazy panic attacks. They can't do that stuff, man. That's crazy. Yeah.
There's too many buttons.
Yeah. It's like, whoa. I think, you need to fly in a MiG-29. Get yourself in a MiG-29.
Oh, there you go. So Andrew says Andrew says it was the best 2 weeks of his life. He loved his time there. The people were very nice. I didn't want to leave. So probably he was grounded in the plane and had to wait for it to be fixed to leave again.
You should have gone and punctured the tires again. Or let the tires down.
Wow. Yeah. It's like putting some sugar in the engine, right?
Something, yeah.
After the last McDonald's video, so thank you, Andrew, by the way. I appreciate your super chats. After your last fast food video, I went to the McDonald's drive-thru one evening and noticed a sign, no videos. I suppose that's the same inside the dining area. I don't go inside. Yeah, so
wow.
I didn't know that I've never noticed it in Australia. I noticed when we were at shopping centers, there was the no filming thing, and I noticed in some shops, no filming.
Wow.
So
we've got a joke in Russia.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, we've got a joke in Russia that people show pictures of McDonald's and say that in the West they've copied Вкусная точка. So they've got their own version. They've got their own version of Вкусная точка. It's like copied off.
And then Russia. what do Russians call McDonald's?
So what they call it? McDuck. Yeah, McDuck.
McDuck is what the Russians call McDonald's. So Donald Duck, and then they call it McDuck. Since your house isn't finished, do you have to pay property tax, or how does it work in Russia?
Property tax only on the land. So the house, an incomplete house, even a lot of people, even when the houses are built, they don't claim it as built, because once it's built, the taxes are on the house as well. And if it's not built, officially finished, then you don't pay tax on it.
The British says, does Sam have his own system for water, or is it on town water?
Yes, it's not on town water, so it will be. I'll have my own well, obviously a well that's automatic. Yeah. I've got gas. Yeah, but not.
Is it possible to visit Russia and come back to America without being caught? I think that's a little bit extreme, Evan.
You've got a bag full of cocaine or not, I guess.
That's a little extreme. Are there many electric cars in Russia and many charging stations? I guess that's for you. That'd be good for you, for Vladimir, right? So
it's interesting. So they're more and more popular here, but I still think, I personally, I think people have them if they have a second car. So maybe the wife's got an electric one, and the husband's got, the other way around. So that because I think charging it is a bit of a nightmare. There's not as many charging stations and stuff, and a lot of people here live in apartments, so it's not convenient to be able to charge them as much.
Correct. Yeah. What team do you support in the Russian Hockey League?
Don't follow it at all. Do you follow it?
No, I've been to games in Moscow, but I don't really worry who's playing. I just go for the love of watching live sport.
Yeah, I just watch football in the UK. I lose the puck when I watch hockey. I'll lose it. People are hitting stuff. I can't even find it. I'm thinking, who's doing what?
Ilya wants to know if I tried pancakes in Terramok. I have. My wife likes it a lot more than I do. The only thing I don't like about Terramok is, of course, the whole menu's in Russian, and there's just so many choices on the board that I get a little stressed trying to decide what I want. Rather than if I go to a burger place, I can look at the pictures, and now I go to Franklin Burgers. So I have been to Terramok. I don't really like going because of the menu, and if I'm not with my wife, it's harder to order things. Do they have white nights in Vladimir?
No.
As in summertime, where they've got the...
Oh, no, we don't have a white night. No, I think it's further north, like St. Petersburg and places like that.
What country has the biggest beer snacks culture? Oz, UK,
interesting. Yeah. So in the UK you just have crisps or peanuts, right? Whereas in Russia there's loads of types of fish and all types of dried fish and dried things. Yeah. So
Andrew, I mean, in Australia, if you go to a pub or a bar, there's nothing. You don't even have crisps like you have in England.
And crisps.
Oh, yes. Pot crackling.
Yeah, but that's about all. There's not really a culture for it. Like in Russia, if you buy beer, then you'll buy something to accompany it. Whereas, and even then, the same with spirits. Yeah, with whiskey and things like that, you'd have different types of things. Whereas in the UK, you maybe have Coke to chase it with. That's all.
Andrew says, "What do they call Mercedes in Germany? A taxi."
That's cool.
Have I got through? Can you book hotels from the West with MasterCard, etc.? PayPal with the Swift. Yeah, so you can't book hotels. Okay, so things like Expedia, Hotels.com, Booking.com, you can't put Russia as a destination for flight searches anymore. They've removed Russia or airport cities in Russia from, and then even hotels. There's not. If you put Moscow hotels, there's nothing. So yeah, you can pay for, well, you'd have to find a travel agent that can book for you. That's not an online style booking system. All right, so now Sam, we've got 7 minutes to go. We're going to do 2 hours, and then we're going to shut down. So what we'll do is, Andrew says, when I was later in Australia, I go to the Rocks. Have you heard of the Rocks, by the way, Sam?
No.
So that's in Sydney. I'm from Perth, by the way. So it's kind of like talking about Vladivostok and Moscow.
Oh, wow.
But the Rocks is an area very close to the Sydney Harbour. And it's all the bars and cafes. It's a little like upbeat atmosphere. It's very close to the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, and where the and I've literally been to Sydney for a couple of days in my whole life. And where the cruise ship was docked, we actually went to a bar out the Rocks.
Cool.
The British. So guys, we've got 7 minutes. We've got 307 likes, and we've got 199 people watching live.
Brilliant. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope it wasn't too boring for you.
I guess I do have a question for you, Sam. Have you heard of Countryside Acres YouTube channel?
Yes, I have. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Everyone seems to be following their story, and it's I can't imagine coming to another country with. They've got 8 kids with them now. I think it's 8 kids. It's mad.
Yes,
it's crazy. Yeah.
So the British has put here: how much does it cost for an expat family moving to put their children in international speaking school in Russia? I guess it's
Wow.
hard to get numbers
Yeah.
and stuff, but
Um,
international schools are not cheap compared to
yeah.
public schools.
hmm
I mean,
I've got no idea how much the schools cost if it's a private school. I've got no idea really. Yeah, I don't know. Well, Russian
is
school is free,
saltfish,
right? So
yeah.
yeah.
Is saltfish equivalent to dried fish in Russia?
So I don't know what saltfish is. Is
Oh,
saltfish a thing you have in Australia?
no.
So saltfish, so dried fish. So fish, we have all different types of dried pieces of fish and things like that. I don't know if that's the same as saltfish. So yeah, so
Be English, yes. The plan is to figure out, Sam's going to figure out from his end, doing a live stream on his channel, interviewing me, which would be meaning that you ask me questions.
we'll do that. We'll
Spoke about Russians preferring to live in high rises in the cities, despite Russians having so much space. Do you think that'll ever change?
I think people have. It depends, because the problem is that people are used to. It's weird because, like, if you look at the States, right, and the UK as well, the suburbs, you have to, it's quite a way to get to a hospital and get things like that. Whereas Russians prefer to be able to walk to 2 minutes away to get to 5 minutes to get to a polyclinic, right? And therefore like, oh no, I don't want to live in a house full time. They might have a house in the countryside, a dacha, or even a second house, but they'll live in a apartment, because also kids go to different schools, right? And like they go to the suburbs, there'll be a bus, but all the kids will go to different schools from the suburbs. So it's not like they'll all go to the local one. And maybe a company will build this a brand new housing estate, but then you need to build a school there, right, and stuff like that. And that's up to the government to build the school, right? So it's difficult. Russians are used to just having everything. If you look at any bus stop, next to the bus stop here, there's a chemist, there's a dentist, there's a supermarket, there's a delivery place, there's all of those things. And Russians are used to having that all next to each other. So I think that's why they don't.
Andrew just said he just joined your channel, Sam. So
brilliant, mate. Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody who wants to subscribe to Sam, it's Sam's Russian Adventures is one of his channels, and his second one is B Road Russia. Both links are in the description, and both will end up in the pinned comment afterwards. Sam, do you have a Russian bank account? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Silly question. Sorry. Let me just take that back. Sam, do you have a UK bank account? Still.
Yes, I've got a UK bank account because I do some work with my brother. And obviously, you just need it every now and again, don't you? When you want to order something from from a different country. And then, so I've got a UK bank account, and I've got 3 Russian bank accounts, actually. All of them got no money in, but yeah, got the accounts.
Did you do skiing or skating in Russia? I guess that's to you, Sam, easier.
So I'm hopeless at both, and snowboarding as well. I've tried them all. So downhill snowboarding and skiing, I'm hopeless at. I've tried cross country skiing. I don't get it. It's just annoying, and I hate it. And skating, I'm a nightmare at it because I'm so tall. I'm not good at it. So yeah, I tried it a week or so ago, and I was just holding on to the things around, going around like I was walking. It was a disaster. So
B English says, how can someone make a donation to Sam to support his channels? What's the easiest?
Wow. So the easiest way is I have a link on my on every video, underneath the video, with a in the description area as well, for a link for, what's it called?
A Boosty, donation alerts.
What's the other one?
PayPal.
Buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee. Yeah. Buy me a coffee link.
So your easiest one is buy me a coffee.
Buy me a coffee. Yeah. I use that. So. And that goes to English. Yeah. So as we talked about. Yeah.
So there we go. Yeah. I guess if we do a reverse live stream and people watch, then
Then
Andrew says,
"You'll wake up a millionaire." Thanks.
Sam, the drunkest I have ever been. Sam, the drunkest I've ever been was in Cambridge, UK. I think a teenage girl drank me under the table.
I used to be like that when I was in the UK. When I came to Russia, I started getting to the stage where I could literally drink as much as I wanted to in a night, and it could be liters. But now I'll only have an occasional, maybe small glass of whiskey in the evening or something like that. And I say a glass, I mean like a shot, a small, where's my hand? A small shot of whiskey, you know, with a piece of chocolate or something. Well, that's about it now for me.
Oh, Jan says, I want to thank you for the CZKs. Which country is CZKs?
Check maybe.
I'm not sure. I want to thank you all for a nice evening, a nice conversation, and I wish you all good health and have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. I'm going to call you Jan, even if your name's Jan. If your name's not Jan, tell me and we'll call you. Yeah, we'll get you.
Evan says that he's subscribed.
Brilliant. Thanks, mate. Hope you enjoy the content. Thank you.
Thank you again, Jan. So thank you for the super chat. Yes. Thanks, I wish you both a nice evening, says Angela. Firefly Sky says, I've been watching your channel for a few months now.
Brilliant. I hope you enjoy the content. Thanks, mate.
Mott MC says, good to see you here with Russell.
It's good to be here with Russell. Me and Russell are good mates, so yeah. So
just subscribe. I can't remember the name again. Here is Russian name. I'm just subscribed to Sam's Russian Adventure channel.
Адекватный Siamit. Что такое Siamit? Не знаю. Что такое Siamit? Не знаю. No, it says like, so adequately, I don't even know how to say it. Like a well-behaved or something, maybe.
You can say it in Russian. I imagine they're Russian with that name.
Well-behaved or adequately, like, doing it normally, yeah. Okay.
Sam, do you have a plan to go further beyond Russia? Beyond Vladimir and the Golden Ring?
So B-Road Russia. Check out B-Road Russia. I've got quite a few videos planned for there. So I prefer small towns. So I'm not really a big town person. I prefer to go to these places probably where the other YouTubers won't go to. So yeah, so small town Russia is for me, definitely. I'll travel as much as I can. Usually the problem is because the car breaks down. So I'm all ready to go, and then the car break down for a month. So yeah.
Who is the woman often appearing in Sam's videos? I think that might be Simple Russian.
Yes, that girl might be Simple Russian Girl. So in B-Road Russia, she was in a few of them.
Yeah.
I've had Sveta in a couple. And that's I can't think that I had. So usually I introduce the girl that's in the video. If there's an actual. Yeah, so it's probably Milena for Simple Russian Girl, I guess.
Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, John. Thank you, The Heart Soul Healing. Fireflux says that he follows you even on VK.
Brilliant.
Can't wait for new videos.
Brilliant.
Eleanor Langerholm. I like both your channels. Also, thank you, Russell and Sam, for showing us Russia.
Thank you for watching. Thank you.
Oh, have you tried the Irish restaurant which an Irishman opened that is in Vladimir?
Yes, I've been there quite a few times. Paul, I've been there quite a few times. He actually contacted me when he first came here, which is something that happens to me quite a lot. People reach out to me when they're first coming. They're coming to Vladimir. He's an okay guy, Irish guy. You know, we've met a few times. We send each other stupid jokes on Instagram and stuff like that, as you do.
Oh, there we go. So Xiaomi. Okay, so I define the word. Oh, you'll have to read these as Xiaomi guy, and that's why I send donations to Russell as adequate Xiaomi guy.
Okay.
I guess that's the translation of his first name there or last name.
Adequate. Okay. Adequate.
You can travel by train. You don't need a car, Sam.
What's that? Sorry.
You can travel by train. You don't need a car. Says the
British. But it's not as fun because you miss all the bits in between. The destination isn't usually the good part. It's the road to get there. You see all the quirky things on the road and meet the people there. So that's why.
Andrew just jumped over to Simple Russian Girls channel and subscribed there.
Brilliant.
I guess we're going to almost get the last question here. Thank you again, Andrew, really and truly, for super chats. I'll have to figure out. So basically, all this money, by the way, is going to my wife. Yeah. I didn't tell you that, did I? No, no, we'll come. I'll come to Vladimir. We'll go out and have lunch, dinner, breakfast with the super chats and the donation alerts. Any cool show? Sorry, what's this question? Any cool panel shows you would recommend?
Panel shows? Well, I don't watch Russian TV at all. I literally don't turn it on ever. So I'm hopeless with that. I'm not a TV person. I just watch football and yeah, that's it really.
Andrew, $2. Thank you. Sam, what part of Russia are you living in? I guess
It's
we
called
talked about this,
Vladimir. So it's a neighboring region to Moscow.
and it's in the northeast of Moscow.
Yeah.
Roughly. And then it's called the Golden Ring, correct?
Yeah, this was like a term made up for Russian tourism at the beginning of the end of the Soviet Union. Yeah, there's like a few towns.
So there's Zuzdal, Vladimir
Zuzdal. There's Yaroslavl. What else have we got there? We've got what's the one I'm looking for? There's one that's Sergei Fasad might even be in it. There is what's the town called? Next to Peroslavl. Blimey, also Veliki Rostov, Great Rostov the Great. That's in it. Yeah, and it's just like a group of towns basically with old churches and next to each other. Yeah. So
I've only been Andrew says only been to Siberia. It's very like the word Siberia, it's such a internationally known word.
Yeah.
And he's only been, the Khabarovsk is Siberia, and I think
yeah.
a lot of the eastern part of Russia is considered Siberia, and I wouldn't know too much about Russia without your channels.
Oh, thank you. Hopefully that's probably why most people just think Russia's really bad, because they don't know our channels and they just think what they get shown on the news, right? So yeah.
Thank you both so much. Greetings from France. My 2010.
Been to France lots of times when I was a kid. Euro camp. Yeah. Brilliant.
How far is Lubistry? Is Vladimir?
I don't know. Where is that?
Lubistry. I'm not sure either.
Yeah. So I can't even Google it because I'm on my phone.
All right. So do you want to say a final thank you in Russian to the Russian viewers, or to anyone who wants to?
So спасибо за поддержку, и я надеюсь, что вы будете продолжать смотреть мои ролики. Спасибо огромное, и до свидания.
All right, everybody. I'm going to say thank you to Sam. Actually, I'm going to say thank you to everybody that's done a donation alerts. Anonymous, Xiaomi Guy, Anonymous, Guillermo, the Russian name I couldn't read there, Despater Buzz, EA, Spliff. Thank you, Spliff. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm not pointing to my camera here. All of you guys who did super chats, massive thank you, like really and truly. We're going to go out and have some beer. Well, we don't drink. Well, even I don't really drink. I have an occasional beer. And that's
after all the Burger King, quite fancy stopping there on the way home. Yeah, I wonder what Lubistry.
It says Moscow region. Somebody has put there Lubiertsi, Moscow region. So maybe it's Moscow region. It's so big, all the places. Yeah, as it's familiar to me as we fly over Siberia a lot. I only went there because we have a mechanical problem, says Andrew. And actually, another term that people use is saying that you get sent to Siberia. It's an English term. Have you heard this before? So when you're not talking to somebody, you send them to Siberia.
Okay.
Because it's so far away that you can't talk to them, they can't hear you. Thank you for the stream, Eleanor. Thank you. You really help people. Okay, I think I've got through everybody. Susan, thank you. Thank you for that, Space Traveler. World. Lubierz is a suburb of Moscow.
Okay, well, so Vladimir region and Moscow region border each other. So if it takes a couple of hours on maximum to get from an hour and 40 minutes on a high-speed train to Moscow.
So it can't be more than an hour away, even if it's an hour away.
On traffic.
All right, 341 likes.
Brilliant.
Still 161 people watching. The graph's going down a little bit now, so love your videos. Thank you. Yes. Thanks a lot. So we're going to try and arrange another live stream maybe next weekend or whenever we can take a time. Probably about this time again because it works good for the audience.
Cool.
and now it's after 12 here in Moscow. So I'm going to end the stream. Sam, stay where you are.
Okay.
And I'm going to end the stream. And I'm going to get you, maybe you can wave goodbye.
See you. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
And
Good night.
let me just do this. You stay there, Sam. And I'll just mute for a second. Thank you, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I would love to be on Sam's stream in reverse, and that can happen hopefully very soon. Yeah, watch another video. Post a comment under this video if you can. I'll get around to commenting and replying to as many as I can. Again, Sam's Russian Adventures, B-Road Russia if you want to join it. And I hope you've had a nice, enjoyable 2 hours. And I hope to see you in another stream. Thanks, everybody. Bye.